Okay, here we are. It is another Tuesday night with DoubleBookedCo. We are in our July month of reading, believe it or not, the 7th month of the year, which to me is one of my favorite months because it's my birthday month, which really means nothing because, I mean, when you get to be our age,
past 21, it's not fun. At 21, there's nothing fun.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, like, when it is the actual day, like, something inside of me kind of, like, goes, like, I wish it was like it used to be, where you would get, like, really excited, and, like, it's your birthday, and everyone is so amazing, and now I'm just kind of like, whatever, I want it to be quiet. But, needless to say, it is still a good month, and we have some really great things happening because not only is it my birthday month and I got to pick our book for the month. So if you are reading with us, our July book is the Kindred Spirits Supper Club by Amy E. Reichert. This is a Wisconsin author. So that's what we're reading in the month of July. So if you're joining us, that's what we're reading. But July is also DoubleBookedCo's anniversary month. So when we started our, she's just grabbing something off the printer. Yep. We started our business, DoubleBookedCo, on Etsy. And then very shortly thereafter, we created our book club. So this is our 4th year in business?
I think so.
Yeah, because this is our 4th year of our book club. So that would make it our 4th year in business, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because we started in 2021.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. It's been a long time. But anyway, so we have a lot of really great stuff, not only in reading, but also for our Etsy shop. If you follow us on our Etsy shop, you know we have kind of slowed down on new products. And that's because we have a lot of great products in our shop, and we've had crazy lives. So if you were used to us, you know, we used to, when we started in our business, we used to be like every 2 weeks we'd have something. Then it was kind of like monthly. And we kind of slowed down because our shop got pretty full. But if you've been following us during that time, you also know when it is our anniversary, we always have an anniversary bookmark, a new bookmark that we do, or bookmark collection that we do for anniversary. And we have not stopped on that. So let me go ahead and show you our anniversary bookmark. This time we actually made our own, so it's not going to be a collection. It is a singular bookmark, and we're really hoping that you all love it because we absolutely love it. We designed this bookmark, and we are hoping that you love it just as much as we do. It is still double-sided, but let me go ahead and show you. I hope that the camera is good. So, and if for you in Voxer, I will send kind of maybe an image. But this is our bookmark. So if you can see, I know my camera is terrible, but in the top we have some floating shelves, and it says, "We came for the books and stayed for the friendship." We were totally thinking about our DoubleBookedCo book club when we made this bookmark. You can see it said DoubleBookedCo on the bottom. I'm so sorry about the camera here, but we have a little sleeping cat, but it is a white background, and then it'll have a tassel, and the tassel will be random color unless you message and let me know that you have a specific color in mind. And then the back are just kind of floating books, and that is more of a brown color. And I apologize, the camera setting on here is terrible. But I'll have these up in the shop on the weekend, so on Saturday they'll be available for purchase. But these are our new anniversary bookmarks. And we're just so excited about these. I absolutely love them. So they're a little bit different than our other bookmarks. They have rounded edges, and they're just so amazing. the camera is terrible for this, but in Voxer group, I will send you a little picture, and then, like I said, these will be available on the weekend, so Saturday you will see them, and these you can only get here at DoubleBookedCo. These are made specifically by us, and with really the book club in mind. We thought you guys have been such an inspiration to us and such a wonderful group of people and people we consider friends. So that's why we had to put this saying on there. We came for the books and stayed for the friendship. Mm-hmm. So we want to just thank you all for being so amazing. And with that, we are going to be doing a big sale in the shop. So all of our original bookmarks, all the bookmarks that you all know and love, no matter what the collection, they're all going to be 50% off for 2 weeks, starting on, let me just pull my calendar up. It's going to be the week of my birthday, so it'll start on the 13th, so July 13th, and it'll run through July 27th, so the night of the 26th. So it'll be 2 full weeks, the 13th through the 26th, and that'll be 50% off all of those bookmarks. Also on the 13th, I'll drop the rest of the new products that we have. We have a couple, nothing as big as our lovely bookmark, but this will be available on the weekend for the whole month, and thereafter. These are made to order, so you can put in the number. I think Etsy makes you put in like a specific number, but if you need more than what's on there, which I'll make it kind of high, because these, again, made to order, we make these special for our shop. And then, like I said, the rest of the new products will drop on the 13th, and then the 13th through the 26th, you'll have 50% off of all of our original collection of bookmarks, and that's a lot of bookmarks. Mm-hmm. So that's all I have to say about the Etsy shop. I'm pretty sure. Did I miss anything, Laura?
I don't think so. Nope.
Okay. So that being said, Laura has loads to talk to you about for August.
Yeah, so just like this month is Dani's birthday month, next month, August, is our lovely friend Andy's birthday month, and she has 3 picks for us. So I had to rewrite. Look at how this thing printed.
Like, oh no.
Am I blind? So, and then it cut off stuff. Anyways, printer problems. So, okay, option number 1 for Andy is American Gods by Neil Gaiman. Oh my God. I'm really getting old. Okay, maybe I need that big print. Released from prison, Shadow finds his world turned upside down. His wife has been killed. A stranger offers him a job, and Shadow, with nothing to lose, accepts. But a storm is coming. Beneath the placid surface of everyday life, a war is being fought, and the prize is the very soul of America. An inspired combination of mythology, adventure, and illusion, American Gods is a dark and kaleidoscopic journey deep into myth and across America, at once eerily familiar and utterly alien. It is quite simply a contemporary masterpiece. And that is roughly 560 pages. It's a different edition too. I mean, you know, it's chunky. Okay, option number 2, a bit of a classic. This is Dr. Thorne by Anthony Trollope. Son of a bankrupt landowner, Frank Gresham is intent on marrying his beloved Mary Thorne, despite her illegitimacy and apparent poverty. Frank's ambitious mother and haughty aunt are set against the match, however, and push him to save the family's mortgaged estate by making a good marriage to a wealthy heiress. Only Mary's loving uncle, Dr. Thorne, knows the secret of her birth and the fortune she is to inherit that will make her socially acceptable in the eyes of Frank's family. But the high-principled doctor believes she should be accepted on her own terms. A telling examination of the relationship between society, money, and morality, Dr. Thorne is enduringly popular for Trollope's affectionate depiction of rural English life and his deceptively simple portrayal of human nature. This is also a chunkster at 592 pages, roughly. And the last one, these are all very different, is A Woman of Endurance by Dalma Danos Figueroa. Set in 19th century Puerto Rican plantation society, this follows Pola, a deeply spiritual African woman who is captured and later sold for the purpose of breeding future slaves. The resulting babies are taken from her as soon as they are born. Pola loses the faith that has guided her and becomes embittered and defensive. The dehumanizing violence of her life almost destroys her, but this is not a novel of defeat, but rather one of survival, regeneration, and reclamation of common humanity. Readers are invited to join Pola in her journey to healing. From the sadistic barbarity of her first experiences, she moves on to receive compassion and support from a revitalizing new community. Along the way, she learns to recognize and embrace the many faces of love: a mother's love, a daughter's love, a sister's love, a love of community, and the self-love that she must recover before she can offer herself to another. It is ultimately a novel of the triumph of the human spirit, even under the most brutal of conditions. And this is 352 pages. So we have a big range, which I love. I love reading all these different things. So please go ahead and vote. Dani, I'm assuming you will get the poll up during our first sprint tonight.
Yes.
So there we go.
Absolutely. I will get that up. I'm going to be helping get kids in bed and get those up during our first sprint. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Awesome. So there we go. Thanks.
So yeah. And because I did see, and I'm not ignoring you. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
And thank you, and thank you, and thank you. Thank you. That's so kind. Yes, we are very excited about our bookmark. I know I saw this all come through, and I was too all wrapped up in sharing. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, so very exciting July and very exciting August. I always love when our book picks are very diverse because you have options, instead of worrying about kind of picking the same kind of books. It's all across the board. And I feel like that is why we love making our suggestions possible from our book club members. Yeah. So if you are part of our book club, you definitely get a say in what we read. We do not have a book dictatorship here, that is for sure. We love to read what others pick because that's how you get to read something you might not have picked up for yourself, Yeah. That's the best part about being part of a book club. And I like that our book club doesn't, really look at only one genre. I know sometimes you're in book clubs and it's like, oh, we only read, before 1970, or we only read, women authors, or we only read, we really want to make sure we have a diverse group here, and I think we do a good job of that most of the time. So, with that being said, if you're joining us, make sure you let us know what you are reading tonight. For me, myself, I'm contemplating. So I've been reading the second book in the Throne of Glass series, and I have about 45 minutes left on my audiobook, and I'm like, oh, do I just try to finish that tonight, or do I wait for, because I won't be able to really get to it again until Thursday. So I don't know. I think I might try to finish that tonight before I start our July book, because I'm like, when you get to that point, it's all downhill. It's like everything's happening. Right. So I'm like, do I just try to finish that? So I think I might try to finish that first. I can't remember what it's called. I just know it's the second book. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It is called Crown of Midnight.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the second book in that Sarah J. Maas Throne of Glass. Yeah, I'm at 87%, so I think I'm right at the edge.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to try to finish that, and then when I'm done with that, I will go to our July book, because I don't have any book going right now, and I don't have any other physical book, and that's the audiobook, so this will be the next one on the list. What about you?
I'm going to be reading the first 2 chapters of Emma. So this is the group read for Jane Austen July. I'm going to try and keep up with it. I'm sure I won't do very well after the first 2 or 3 days, but it's 2 chapters a day. So I'm going to start here, and then this is very, very random. And I shouldn't have done this. It's not horrible. When I was at the library last week, 2 weeks ago, I went to see if something was on the shelf, and it wasn't. And I was walking back towards the front to check out, and I just sort of stopped and thought, when's the last time I just looked at the library shelves? Like, it's been forever. I have so many I already want to own. I have lists of stuff to read, And I just sort of stopped and looked. I thought, well, I'll just check something out randomly. So I stopped in front of this author, and I know her name. I've seen her name my whole life, but I have never read her, and no one else I know has ever read her. And I thought, what the heck, I'll just try it. So I am reading The Fulfillment by Laverell Spencer. Yeah.
Well, look at that.
I know.
I was secretly hoping when you lifted it up, it was going to be like, oh, I've read that. No, yeah. I've never heard that name before.
Really?
No.
She was everywhere. Her and Rosamund Pilcher, like all those people that are kind of like that. Joanne Krantz, she's still very popular, but so popular in the 80s and 90s. Like every time I went to Kmart, every time I went to Kmart or any place, there were like tons of them, mass markets everywhere. Yeah. So I've seen her name my whole life and never read her. And I just thought, oh, well, I'll just grab one and start. This is the thinnest one she has. It's handily her very first book she ever published. And it was written in 79, I think. So, yeah.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to how you like that.
Yeah, I'm like 90 pages in. It's going really well. It's very, very like quick reading. So I'm going to keep going on that. So I want to try and finish and return this on Thursday. See, she's been around forever. Like, yeah, Laverell Spencer. What a name.
Andy is going to read from our book club book, but Attic Child, that sounds interesting. Is that like V.C. Andrews? Because it sounds like could be. Halfway through it. Also passed halfway on Dungeon Crawler, Carl, book 3.
All the cool kids are reading that series. Everyone is loving that series. They must be good if you're on the third one, hey?
Yeah. There are 2 chapters and Emma's so excited for that. Emma is my favorite Jane Austen.
Nice.
Yeah, I loved that one. I actually saw a meme a couple days ago about Jane Austen books, how the title is always what's wrong in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just funny how Emma is what's wrong. And I got so mad because I absolutely love Emma. Like, I think she's got her things, but I loved her throughout, like, because I thought going into the book I was gonna not like her, and I love her through the entire book. Entire book. And I don't know if it's just the place I was at when I was reading it. I read it like, gosh, maybe 6 years ago. And I loved it all the way through. And I think because Clueless that's been one of my favorite movies since the moment I ever saw it. I've seen it a bajillion times. I don't know if it's because I love that movie so much that I just like subconsciously was like, I'm going to love Emma because that's where it's from.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what it is, but I love Emma. I just love it. I love that book. I love Emma herself. So when I saw that meme, I was like, oh, punch you in the face.
But facts.
Yeah. It's
Princess Donut, right?
Just fun and escapist. I'm gonna have to go ahead and check that out. Is that what it's called? You said what?
Dungeon Crawler
Carl. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up because I have not ever heard of that. And if you say it's that good, then I'll have to look it up.
I think the 7th book just came out, and they get like thicker and thicker as they go. And everyone that I know who's reading that is like going crazy over it.
Did you say Dungeon?
It's Matt Dinniman, Dinniniman.
Got it. Yep. Oh, that's a cover.
Mm-hmm. I've heard it was good too. I'm excited.
It's got really good ratings. 4.5 out of over 100,000 ratings. That's really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody give it less than 4 stars.
The apocalypse will be televised. Okay, I'm adding this to my want to read list.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you very much. See, just another reason why you should be in the book club. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On that note, what kind of ASMR should we do for tonight?
I don't know. I did see one that was like a chinchilla reading the paper or something.
Oh, of that same, is it the same
Yeah.
one that we did last week with the bunny, or last week with the last time with like,
Mhm.
didn't we have like bunnies drinking tea or something?
Yeah. Oh, I think it was chinchilla reading the morning newspaper, something like that.
Oh, let me see if I can.
Yeah, I just sort of saw it. I thought, oh, that looks cute.
Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I subscribed to that. Did I? If I, oh no. Okay, let me just look real quick.
Otherwise, whatever you can find.
Yeah, I like that though. Oh gosh, my computer's being so slow. I apologize. Um, yeah. So what we'll do is I will try to find a good ASMR to play. 25 minutes have been doing pretty good as far as sprinting goes, so I think we'll do that. I'm going to actually mute myself and turn my camera off because I'm just going to run downstairs and help with the kids' bedtime. And then I'll be back to put our books in our poll. And I'm sorry, Andy, don't want to miss your comment here. Reading with Miss Reads a lot.
Nice. Yeah.
I bet.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard of it. Okay, so I'll put the timer up, and if you are joining us as we go along, just let us know what you're reading, and then we'll see you back at the timer. It looks like we're almost at 25, so we'll come back at the 50.
Sounds
So
good.
we'll see you then.
Mm-hmm.
Do, do, do. changed location, so it is much darker where I am apparently. I can make this come closer to me, maybe. There we go. That is much better. Okay. So yeah. Sorry I'm a little late. I was just finishing. I got all of our choices up on our community tab. So if you're interested in voting for our August titles, those are all available on our community tab. I can't believe it. I think I've left Sepia Town just by moving location.
Black and white than brown and white.
Yeah. That's so weird. So maybe it was the lighting. Maybe it was picking up the lighting and it was making it different. I don't know. This webcam is weird. Anywho, it's fine. Here I am. I'm available. I did not get any reading done. Well, actually, I got like 2 seconds of reading in, and already I just realized that there's a double crosser. So when we get into our next sprint, I'll be able to see that fight go down.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited about that. But how did you do?
Good. We got 2 chapters of Emma read and another, I think 30 in here maybe. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. So yeah. It's good, but it's it's not deep. Okay, so it's about this couple, Mary and Jonathan. They're married, and his brother Aaron lives there with them. He's like 2 or 3 years younger. Their parents died a long time ago, and Jonathan, because they both had mumps when they were kids, Jonathan is now infertile and they can't have kids. He and Mary have been married for 7 years. She really wants a baby. He wants to give her a baby, but he knows he can't. So he just brought it up to both of them that they should sleep together because it's still family and whatever else. And they're shocked and horrified. It's the 1800s. Like, they're shocked and horrified by this. But now Jonathan has gone for a few days to look at a bull, like a few like cities over, and now they're on their own. And they're both sort of like, ooh, I don't know. Are we going to... It's not what I thought, but it's interesting. And it starts immediately. Like, you read the description, that's pretty much what it says. But like, his first thing is him like thinking about how he's going to tell his brother that he wants him to sleep with his wife. Like, yeah. Anyways, so
you gotta wonder though, like in real history, like how many times did that happen?
Right.
Or
I mean,
like people who were, where the infidelity like was on both sides, like especially in royalty, especially when like royalty was like marrying family. I know it's like, oh, it's a second cousin. It's still family. Like you grow up, oh yeah, your cousins, and then all of a sudden you have to marry each other. Like, it's not like, it's marriages of convenience, not of like love and stuff. And people like are attracted to other people. Like, so you have to wonder like how many like royal heirs are technically not.
Right.
That's why I don't understand why the succession, and it's so ridiculous that I didn't even think of this until I started to read that Avalon series. But why succession isn't through the female?
Right.
It's the only way to, like, back then, I mean now you could prove it, but like it's the only foolproof way to know that that is the heir. Like, it's the female heir.
Right.
Ugh, misogyny.
Great, isn't it?
That's wonderful. Anywho, let's check on Andy. On chapter 9. Oh, good. I'm really happy. I'm happy you are enjoying it. I watered up front and did a bit while listening. Good. Oh, you're listening to it? Oh, fun. What are you listening on? Is it through your library at all? I didn't even look because I had the physical copy, so I didn't even look if I had availability. But that'd be cool if I did. I could listen to it and have the copy.
Yeah.
You could use a turkey baster. No need to get physical.
I know.
Wonder if the royal do 23andMe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I bet they're like, don't. Nobody's allowed to do this.
Right. Seriously, don't go into your ancestry. Don't spit in anything.
Okay, maybe I can check there and see if it's available. I always like listening to them. I think I listen. So for this author, I'm talking about the book club pick that Andy's listening.
Reichert.
So This is our July pick that she's referring to. And this author is a Wisconsin author. I read the physical book of her. It's called The Coincidence of Coconut Cake. And then I listened to Simplicity of Cider. Simplicity of Cider took place in Door County, and I listened to that one, and I thought it was okay. I liked that one. I think I liked The Coincidence of Coconut Cake a little bit more. That one was set in Milwaukee. This one is Wisconsin Dells. So I might want to, maybe I'll listen to it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do both. So yeah, but you're still liking Emma too?
Yes, this is a reread for me. I did read it once before, and I don't know. I think it's fine. I don't know. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not hitting you the same way it hit me.
No, not at all. It's not my favorite.
Okay.
I've only read 3, but
Yeah.
none of them are bad. I like them all,
Yeah.
but this is not my favorite one.
I don't know many people that like this one as much as I do. I don't know. I think because of my love of Clueless is the only reason why this one is so far above the other ones. I think because it's Emma and then Sense and Sensibility, and then the other ones are kind of just all mishmash. I you know, it's whatever. But Sense and Sensibility is good.
Yeah, that's my favorite. And a lot of it's from the movie too.
Yeah, the Coconut Cake one is good.
That one, I like that one. That's the only one of hers I've read.
Yeah, that one. That book, I fell in love with the side characters more than I fell in love with like the main characters. And not that the main characters were bad, they were good, but there was this one elderly couple in the book that I was just in love with the whole time.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah, I like that. I like when you have side characters that help the book be good, you know. I don't like when side characters make the main characters look bad, because that's not the point of the book. But I like when the side characters are just as good as the main characters. So, and I liked that it was like a foodie thing, because it's like the female character is a chef. So I like foodie stuff. So I liked that one. That one was fun.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Well, what are you doing for your birthday? Because I know this is your birthday month.
You know, it's funny. I have no idea. I just said that to my husband. I was like, you know, I've been planning all these things. So, I mean, if anyone follows me on my channel, you know, like I fell off the deep end. And because so my stepdaughter graduated high school, so we had all of her stuff, and I have her graduation party coming up in like 2 weeks. And so I've been focused on that. My son turned 2, so focused on that. My niece and nephew literally just left like 25 minutes ago. They were here for 2.5 days. So I've been doing all this planning for everyone else's stuff. My husband's birthday is in August. He turns the big 40. So it's like a big year. So I've been like planning that. And all of a sudden I looked at him like 2 days or 3 days ago, and I was like, what are we doing for my birthday? Like, it's, you know, I think this is a mom thing. You're so wrapped up in everybody else that you completely forget about yourself. Or, you know, and why should I have to do it anyways? You know, like, why should I have to plan my own things? Because it doesn't get done then. But anyways, I don't know. Right now, nothing.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that I can get a new computer, because if you all follow along the road, I have a difficult time with this computer. And so I'm really hoping that is what I'm going to get, which I think I am. It's just a matter of where I'm getting it from and that kind of thing. But other than that, I have no idea. It would be nice if we could do dinner or something, but I really, honestly, I don't know. I know my husband works that night, and it's not that it matters on the actual day. But honestly, I have no idea. It's probably just going to be like any other day, which is sometimes nice, but when you have to do everything for everyone else still, it's kind of like...
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, nothing. I mean... I completely forgot about it until about 3 days ago. So, yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll do something kind of fun and you'll have time to maybe take a nap and relax and have time to yourself, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. That weekend is like the following weekend because my birthday's on like a Tuesday or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That following weekend is my stepdaughter's graduation party. So I'm going to be busy that whole week. So who knows? I probably won't do anything.
Yeah.
It'll probably just be all about her and her big day because that's important. Nice send off for college and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it's no biggie. I'm not, you know, I'm not young anymore, so it's not that big of a deal. My big thing is I just like to be like, as long as everyone says happy birthday to me that day, like the people that matter, that's really all I care about. But it's like getting overshadowed is, I think, what hurts.
Yeah.
As like a mom, because like people are so like, you know, doing their own thing, and my kids are too little to, so I'm not worried about them at all. But like, there's been a couple years where like my stepdaughter didn't, like, she, you know, and that always really hurt. But you know, she's a teenager, and you're kind of like whatever. But it doesn't change the fact that it kind of sucks. But so, and she's not really here now. She is a camp counselor for the summer, so she's not physically here. So I would assume she'd forget about it this year because she's not home, which is, I mean, I get it. Now everyone gets to move on in their own worlds. So, but my mom will call me, and some of my brothers, I'm guessing like one or two of them, probably not all three, but that's okay. It's just whatever. But yeah, it's all good. My husband usually remembers by like 9 p.m.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, I know. It's, and then I'm making sure everyone has a present and cake and good breakfast, and yeah. Tis is life. Anywho, oh yeah, everything's changing. Yeah, we got, I mean, it's not going to end there. My daughter has her big surgery coming up very soon. We just are waiting on a date, so that's going to be crazy. End of the summer. Fun. So, yeah. I know, I'm drudging up so many awesome things over here. Let's talk about something else. Thanks for asking, though. I appreciate it. I know you'll remember.
Of course.
You always remember. Gotta have good friends in your life.
Yeah.
I saw, I think it was Jane Fonda, and who is the actress that she does Grace and Frankie with?
Her name just left my brain.
Oh, I know. I can't. I always forget.
I love her.
She
looks like my Aunt Shirley so much. I always want to call her Shirley, and it's not Shirley.
Anyways, those two, they're like real life friends as well, and they were on some kind of commentary, and they said the most important thing for women to have is women friends. And Jane Fonda had mentioned something about like oftentimes husbands will pass before the wives, so having female friends, having women friends in your life is like a huge thing, because a lot of times those are the people that you lean the most on. I thought that's so true, and I felt so what's the word I'm looking for, because I don't have a brain anymore. I just felt really thankful and grateful that like I have you, and I have Beth Ann, and I have good friends. Like it's really you two are my closest friends that I would consider like my Jane Fondas.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I felt really good that like when I saw that, because like when you see stuff like that and you're like, dang, I don't have that, but I felt really good that I knew that I do. I have at least two people that are my like Jane Fondas. Yeah.
Lily Tomlin, I remembered.
Tomlin, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, she looks almost like my Aunt Shirley. It's like alarming. She looks so much like her. So I always thought of her as Shirley in my head, even though I know
Yeah.
my aunt was not on TV, like when I was a kid. But yeah, it is true. Female friendships are so important, and with extremely few exceptions, all of my friends who got married have all just effed off and don't talk to anybody anymore who's not their husband, and that is hurtful and it really bothers me. But I can't change it. That's their own decision, and I try to reach out for a while, and then I just sort of stop. How long do you do that for before you just go, well, never mind then?
Yeah.
So thanks for the 30 years of friendship before that, but I guess I'll see you never. Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Very, very frustrating. But it is what it is. It's okay. And then you move on and you find new friends, and your family changes. So yeah.
Well, I've gotten married and had kids while I've known you, and you're not getting rid of me that easy.
No, I know. No, that I know.
Oh my goodness.
If you're willing to talk to me every day, then that's no one else is willing to talk to me every day except for my mother. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I usually like double time because I'm on Marco Polo and I text you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I send you terrible reels all the time.
No, I like that.
Well, it's so hard too because like you're not really on the social media, so I have to like copy the link and then go. So I like really go through links to send you all those Henry Cavill.
Yeah, thank you.
Reels.
Otherwise, I would never see them.
Oh my gosh, and it's so funny because like I'm impartial to Henry Cavill, like whatever, but like.
Mm-hmm.
Because whenever I do see one and I send it to you, now I'm getting like a lot of them, and now I'm becoming like I'm like maybe I am into Henry Cavill.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think my favorite ones are where he's just being a total goofball.
Yeah,
like I like listening to his interviews because he seems like such a regular guy. Like wants things to be right, wants things to be accurate, and like there's this one where he like tisks somebody and he like hardly moves his mouth, and I was like, you could do that all day. But I didn't realize he's only 2 years older than me. I thought he was like 10 years older than me. No, that bad boy is only 2 years older than me.
Yeah, I'd be robbing the cradle a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit.
So, anywho, I think it's time to get some sprinting in here. So let's go ahead and jump on another sprint. Did we like the Scottish background? Nice. I tried to look for your other thing, but it was taking too long, and I didn't want us without an ASMR. And that one doesn't have any mid-roll ads, which is nice too. Yeah. So I'll just keep that one on, and we'll jump into another sprint. If you're joining us in between, let us know what you're reading. I'm going to jump back into Crown of Midnight. And are you going to kind of keep going on both your titles?
Just this one. Yep.
Okay.
And I'm going to go water my plants outside because I realized before I do that. Thank you, Andy.
Yes, so, Andy with the reminder. Very nice.
Fill a bucket.
Okay, so we will go to, we'll pretend it's 15. So that's 20 plus 20, so 40.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. That seemed longer than normal, but maybe it's because I didn't do the first sprint completely. So.
Well, I don't know. I'm accurate with time, so I don't know.
Well,
how's it going?
I am almost done with my book, that Crown of Midnight, which is the second in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. And the first book was okay, like take it or leave it kind of thing. But I kind of was like, I'll read the next one and see if I like it. And if I like it, I'll keep reading. If I don't, whatever. Well, let me tell you, the last 25 minutes of this book is why I'm probably going to continue and read the next one. And if the next one is just as good as this one, well, not just as good, like this, it like literally just like got into to something where I'm like, that is interesting. I think I want to learn more about that. So we'll see if the next one is really good. Because I mean, I think it's like 12 books. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
And I know people, I see a lot of reels and stuff with, I think the final one where people are crazy about this book series and like bawling. And the only one that I'm concerned, there's two books that people say you should read them at the same time, as opposed to reading them like reading one and then reading the next one, because I guess they're the same timeline, just following different people. So some people, the gist of what I'm understanding is it feels weird to read one and then go and read the other one, and it's literally the same timeline. So it feels like you're just stuck or something. So they say you should read them in tandem so that you're getting all of it at once.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how that would work with me listening to it. That'd be weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to figure it out, but I don't think I have to figure it out very quickly because I think that's more towards the middle of the series. So, but I think I might like this one. I like, so there's a little bit of like romance, a little bit, but this one's more about like everything else, which I do like a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, I like a good romance.
Yeah.
But I also really like when they don't focus on that and the book is really good on its own. So I think I'm liking these more than the ACOTAR series. And I've heard that a lot. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, don't read ACOTAR. Read the Throne of Glass." And I think I do. Like, and I'm only in the second one, and like I think I'm liking this more.
Yeah.
So
I've heard the same thing too from a few people lately. And my coworker Jen is reading the ACOTAR series, and I think she's on the 4th book or the 5th. She's nearing like the end of it, and she finally stopped harassing me about reading them. But she's like, I think I am going to start reading this series, this Throne of Glass series. She's like, I've heard so many good things, and in her book club, I think they're talking about starting that series to read together. I thought that would be kind of fun to read like a long series with a group of people. But yeah, let's try that series at some point.
Yeah, it's not bad. I do like it. I like that it's not, because I feel like ACOTAR was just so much revolving around the mates, and it was just like, can we get over this? I'm not like, it's not like they weren't terrible, but they weren't that great. Like the hype is way too much. And I'm not saying that this is like the best thing since sliced bread, but I feel like I like the story better than ACOTAR.
Yeah.
So, but it looks like I'll be continuing on, and I'm not like in a rush. I just put the next one on hold on Libby, and then I just wait for when it's ready, and usually it's a pretty good gap in between. So in this one, I started reading this one, I was like, so what? Oh yeah, that happened in the first one. Oh yeah, that happened. Okay, I'm getting it. And then by the time you're halfway through, you're back on track.
Yeah.
But yeah, how did you do?
Good. I'm on page 172. I started on page 90 something.
How long is the book? Isn't it a short one?
It's one of her shorter ones, but that doesn't mean anything. It's like $3.75.
Oh, that's not short.
I know. Once I picked it up, I was like, "Dang, this is like 600 pages. I don't want to read that for the first time." So, not as a spoiler, but they followed through on her husband's request, and they're following through on it still because he's still gone. So
they're just making sure it sticks.
yeah, but the problem is there's a whole lot of feelings there because they were always friends, and the brother Aaron, the brother is he left them alone for a year after they were married for a while because he figured he'd leave them alone to like really try and conceive a child, and then he really get like enjoy their marriage, the two of them, because he's been there the whole time. So he left for a year, worked in a factory in the big city, and he saw lots of prostitutes. So he learned a lot of stuff, and as they're doing stuff, she's realizing she knows nothing about anything, and neither does her husband. So she's like, how am I supposed to go back to not knowing anything and act like I don't, you know? And they really do love each other. Like, I mean, they've always loved each other, but it's way more than she loves her husband in every way, it seems like. And because they're so much closer to talk about more things, they always have talked about more things. Like, this is going to get real messy real fast.
I feel like the husband's going to die in some weird freak accident.
And
then they're going to live happily ever after.
That's horrible, but I hope so, because
that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, he's
like the
not
only
a bad
legit
person.
thing, because like divorce isn't a thing back then, and like, yeah. So I feel like he's gonna like get like. Did you say he went to go get a bull? He's probably gonna get killed by this bull. He's gonna be like
it's
doing
a calf
something, like chuck him with his horn.
Right. So the calf he wants to buy is still little, so it's still small. But it's in Minnesota, and whatever little teeny tiny town they're from, it's like a whole day journey to get to Minneapolis. So he's in Minneapolis for 3 or 4 days trying to buy this bull calf, and so he's talked to the owner of the father already, and like knows what they're gonna do when he's got the stuff all hashed out. So he's gone on for a few days. So they know they have time. And yeah, I think something's going to happen, either that or like a train accident or something. I mean, because the train's fairly new. It's not, it's still horse and buggy everywhere.
It's going to make a perfect, like, oh, well, I guess now we can get married, and now it doesn't matter because now the kid's ours anyways. And yeah.
I know. That's terrible.
It's like from Bridgerton, where the one brother dies and she just marries the other brother.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, not that she wanted to, but I mean, that's what. There you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It looks like Andy got to chapter 12.
Nice.
So 27% through.
Nice.
I have thrown a glass in my Kindle. Have not read it. Actually, it was not for me. Yeah. I read all of what is available in ACTAR, and quite honestly, the book that I liked the most was the last one, which is Nesta's book. And I think it's because, like, I totally relate to Nesta as, like, I mean, she is a total, like, B with a capital. Like, she's terrible. Like, she... I mean, I'm not even quite sure, like, that her character... Like, she, like, redeems herself at the end, but I'm like, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite convinced.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's the one I liked the most. But I had to read 4 really terrible. Like, they weren't terrible. I think I rated most of them like 3 stars, 3 or 4 stars, maybe 3. I know I did not like the little Christmassy novella one. That was so dumb, a waste of my time. I hated that one. It was so terrible. But thank God that was only like 200 pages. It was nothing. But this one's nice. It's so, if you don't know, Throne of Glass. So it follows this girl, Selena. She's 18 and she's like an assassin. And she's thrown into this tournament of bad dudes to try to figure out who's the baddest dude so that they can be the king's champion. And then he basically gets to keep them to do what he wants. wants them to do.
Mhm.
So the first book has them doing these things, but in the meantime, these bad dudes start getting killed off by something, and so you're like figuring out that too. So it was good. Like you have fighting, you have a tournament, you have like secrets. There's a lure of magic, but magic was like vanquished. It's very interesting because there's a lot going on. And what I would say is this second book, you learn so much more about like what's actually happening, like what the world like. Not that the first one doesn't do a good job with world building, it does. But this one, you really like a lot of things start to unravel about like why things are the way they are and who are the major players. And I really liked the way that it kind of opened up in the second book as opposed to the first one, because I feel like it would have been way too much information in the first one. So overall, I mean, I'm just liking the fact that there's a lot of like mystery and like secrets, and I like books about like magic systems and different creatures, and I like fantasy books. So this one felt more fantasy, and there's like the tiniest bit of I don't even wouldn't call it romance, because it's a lot of like it's like mostly behind closed doors or not even at all. So there's like hardly any of it, which I'm fine with. It's decent. I like it. And we all want to know. Sorry, let me get this in there. Why won't you go? Go, computer. I tapped it, touched it. Oh my goodness, why isn't it doing it? It's not letting me show your next comment, Andy. I apologize. But Andy wants to know the ending of that series. It's not letting me click it. I don't know why. But anyway, she's saying, Laura.
Oh, you froze. Hopefully you unfreeze, but Andy, assuming you can see me, I will text you or I'll leave you a message on Voxer about what happens. Yeah. Yeah, right now they're dressing up in his father's clothes. Oh, hi. They're dressing up in his parents' wedding outfits, which seems real risky to me too. I mean, not the what all they're doing is not risky. Wearing clothes is very different than doing a downstairs handshake, but you know.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay.
I have no idea what happened.
You know,
just kicked me out, and they're like, "Sorry, something went wrong," and I'm like, "Yeah, clearly."
No kidding.
So we all want to know the ending of your book.
Yes, yeah, I'll leave her message on Voxer, and I'll of course let you know too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm halfway through, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever so like talking about series, and this question is for anyone watching as well. Let us know what you think. Okay, so have you ever like DNF'd a series? I mean, because you're dedicated, right? You've been through, you're getting through it. Like, have you ever just DNF'd a series? Like, yeah, I'm not going to finish that.
Yeah, I just DNF'd the Getting the Ninth series.
Oh yeah. Well, like I'm saying, like you're really far in. Like
yeah,
no. Like say it's a larger series and you're like past book 3. Because I mean, once you're in 3, I feel like you're like dedicated.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, everything I have read that's long, I'm either in the middle of and I'm really into it, or I have I think 3 or 4 different series that have books into their 30s, and I'm current with them, and I keep up every year when there's new ones produced, and I look forward to them. But no, I don't think I ever have. If I'm past 3, I'm usually pretty much in. I thought I was going to continue the Gideon the Ninth series, and so I read a little bit. I know I talked to you about it and was ranting, furious about where it starts out and who is there and everything. I thought, okay, we give a day. I picked it up 2 or 3 more times, and I just instantly got so mad. And every time I would see the book sitting over there on the table, my blood pressure would raise. And I thought, I gotta let it go. Like, Maybe I will try again in a few years, but right now it's way too close and I'm too angry about all of it. And I'm giving it a 2. Like, it's just a 2-star. Gideon's a 2. I'm so mad still. So I stopped that very quickly.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I never really have. Once I'm in, I'm pretty much in. How about you?
I would have to say the only series that I've ever done that with is that Zodiac Academy, and I think I got through 8. I got really far. I got really far in, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't. I think there's like 2. I think there's either 2 or 3 more books after where I stopped, and I'm like, I can't even bring myself to do it. I can't. Like, I'm so. And I think about it every once in a while, and I'm like, I really did like that series. I did, but I'm so furious with it. Like, I can't even, like, I'm getting so mad that it's just regurgitated crap. Like, I'm just gonna, like, make my own ending, like, choose my own adventure, and I'm just closing it down. I'm closing it down. But yeah, usually a series, like, if you don't grip me in the first or second book, but yeah, it's very rare that I get really far into a series and then go, you know what? I'm out. Because really it's like, I need to know how this ends.
Right.
Annie says usually on the first book, but read the first James Corey book and watch a series. Rising, so skipping all the books to that one.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And those are pretty chunky books too. I think they get longer as they go for that series. Yeah. I thought I had that book. I could have sworn, and I just looked for it the other day. It's not on my shelf, and I know it's not in the basement because that's all the basement books that are unread are all like Charles Dickens. I have a whole bunch of his, or Thomas Hardy's. It's like big stuff I have down there, and it's not there. I could have sworn I got that as a gift, but anyways, yeah. Bummer about the TV series. I've heard nothing but good things about it, but it was canceled. So yeah, how it goes.
Is there a book series that you wish they would make into a TV series?
I wish they would retry the Hamish Macbeth series by MC Beaton. So there is a series they did do an adaptation in like 1991 or something when there were just maybe 3 or 4 books out in the series. That's one of the series I'm reading now that's like 36 or 37. But I hate that adaptation. It makes me furious because they changed. Okay, and I preface this. I understand TV shows and books are very different things. I get it. And they have to make changes to adapt things for visual things. Totally get it. But they changed everything. They put like 2 and 3 and 4 book like mysteries and like whodunits and like stuff all together and like different series in really weird ways that, at least for me, made no sense for continuity just for watching it. And then they just made up tons of stuff and they added in a new main character that was just so annoying. I couldn't hack it. And it was awful. Awful. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen. So if they could redo that, because there are so many good detective series based off of books, I think that'd be really good. It'd be nice. It's set in the Highlands. He's a small town cop dealing with mostly with people in a small town. And of course he goes a little bit here and there, to like some cities occasionally, but I think it would make a nice adaptation. So I'd like to have that redone and maybe a little closer to the series and maybe pick like a series, at least for a while. Like they did with Midsummer too. Like pick a book for a show a while and then do whatever after that. But that's the only thing I can think of that's not adapted. But yeah, nothing coming to mind. How about you?
A lot of the books that I really enjoyed have been made into
mine too.
series. Not that all of them are great, but a lot of them have been. I'm just trying to think like series that I really enjoyed. Like most of them have been made into movies or series. Like Discovery of Witches, that was made into a series. But the thing that stinks about that is like the TV series is only the first 3 books technically. And there are 5 books now and they don't have any intention of like doing the rest of them, which I find like odd. But at the same time, like the way they did the adaptation was really, like, it was fine. Don't get me wrong. The show is great, but it added different layers of different characters that was not in the book. So it kind of made it a little bit different. But I wouldn't redo that because, I mean, obviously it's too soon. And then, like, all, like, The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, like, they've done movies and they've done series, and it's like, that. Obviously, Harry Potter, they've done it. They're doing it again. Twilight is a movie already. And I'm not saying these are, like, ones that but I'm thinking about series that I've read, and, like, almost all of them, like True Blood, that was I mean, they've done it. It's like you grab a series and it's done. I don't know. I don't know that. Maybe I'm just not reading better series. I don't know. Let's see what Annie has to say.
The Three Pines series was really good.
What's that?
The Three Pines series was really good. The books are excellent. They're some of my favorite books. I'm only halfway through the series books. But they started a series, and they made one episode with Nathan, what's his face? I forget his last name. But that was a decent adaptation of the first book. It was pretty good. And then they didn't do anything else. It was an hour and a half thing. And then they made a series featuring a different guy as the main character. But they took the focus of all of the book cases and half of the stuff that happens in the books and totally ditched it and created a false narrative of an important subject, which is missing Native women, that, you know, they go missing constantly and no one's investigating. It's been happening for decades and decades. It's getting worse. So it's super important, and I think it should be addressed, especially in a Canadian TV show like this. But it shouldn't take over the entire, like, adding new characters and adding all the stuff and ignore half the crap that happens in the books just to force this thing in. I got so mad I stopped watching the series.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, sorry.
I'm glad that Andy mentions this by Brandon Sanderson, because I might just be dumb, but has anything by Brandon Sanderson been adapted?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so let me ask this then, and maybe I'm hitting the wrong tone here, but if Brandon Sanderson is so gosh darn prolific, and he's the best thing that's come out of life since life was created, why hasn't anything been made into a film? Is he just like, we're not doing that? Because, I mean, I think about his Stormlight archives, which people reread every year.
Yeah.
Like, they're mental about these books. And I realize they're not done yet. Like, I realize that. But he's got a ton. He's got a ton of, like, really rich stories that, I mean, you could really do something with. And I think, why isn't any of these, like, none of these books, like, what's going on? Because we're all like like this would be big blockbuster kind of things.
Yeah.
And nothing. So I'd like to learn more about that.
Yeah. My assumption is he's been approached a lot. And I would think, knowing the little about him that I do know, that he would want creative control, at least to a certain extent, with script or whatever else, casting something. And I'm guessing that he hasn't been able to get that as a guarantee from anybody. You know, that's my guess. Because he's been so popular for so many decades, and he seems to just be getting more popular and more prolific at the same time, which is really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I've been reading a lot of his stuff lately, and
they could smut it up. I don't know.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for bringing that up, Andy. Lies of Locke.
I've always wanted to read that.
Would be good. Broken Earth series.
Yep.
None of these are sounding familiar to me, so it's clear that I'm just reading the wrong series.
That's N.K. Jemisin, Broken Earth. Three Pines is great. If you read them, you really should read them to start. And if you do read them, the first 2 books in the series are pretty middling. They're fine. But that 3rd book is when things change and, like, you start to really get to know the characters more and the mysteries become more complex and everything. So if you can get through those 2 kind of, I don't want to say bog standard books, then they just keep getting better and better.
Are you talking about those Louise Penny books?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I read the first one. I was like,
Yeah, see? Like, it was fine. It's a mystery book.
That's the one where it's like there's the homeless lady and someone's in a basement.
Was that the one that starts with the electrocution on the lake?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one's fine, and the next one is fine, and then they just get so good. My mom just read the newest one that came out last year, and she couldn't stop talking about it, but because I'm like 8 books behind, she can't say anything, and she kept like swearing at me all the time. She's like, "Damn it, you got to read this," and "Oh, I can't say this," and "Oh God, that's a spoiler." Like, please read these. I have to talk to somebody about them.
Oh,
But
man.
she just loves them too. They're so
Yeah.
good.
He had Mistborn going, but it fell apart due to creative differences.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing our research for us.
And they're all of his books are pretty chunky, right? Isn't like Trust one of the thinnest ones at like 350 or 400, and everything else seems to be like 800 or more, mostly, right? They're pretty chunky stuff. Mistborn maybe is 500, maybe.
They're all very big. They're all very big.
Yeah.
Well, Mistborn is such a unique case too, because you have the main trilogy, but then there's like a 500 years later trilogy, and I could be wrong on the numbers, and then there's like prequel trilogy. So there's technically, I think, and then there's all sorts of books in Mistborn.
Yeah, there's the different
really
era.
more than just the dense one. I'm gonna commit myself to the main trilogy. I'm not gonna worry about the other stuff, because I'm not here for like trying to read every single one, but I'm trying to give everything a good chance, a good amount of time. And thus far, I really like Trust of the Emerald Sea. I thought that was so witty and clever, and it had me laughing like the whole time. Because in that one, at least from what I've read so far, you get a lot of Hoyd, and he is hilarious. I really do like his character. And so when I finally finished and got through all of Way of Kings, which is the first of that Stormlight archive, which the first time, as you know, you and I, we tried to read it with the big read along, and I got to like 300 pages, and I was like, I'm out. I can't do this. It's too much. It's overwhelming. I can't keep up with everybody.
Yeah.
And I realized then when I just recently read it this past June, earlier in June, so much more enjoyable via audiobook. I was able to get through it. I really enjoyed it. There are characters I really enjoyed. And so I do think I'm going to continue on that. But again, just like I was mentioning with Throne of Glass, I'm not like trying to rush it. I'm not worried about getting to it. So I just put it on a hold on Libby, and when it comes up, I read it. So, but yeah, I would say if you're going to try to read that again, audiobook. It was so much better. It was so much easier. It didn't feel overwhelming. I just was able to be in the story, and it was so much easier to get through, like by leaps and bounds, for sure. Sorry, Andy, I'm not trying to ignore you here. They are bricks, all of them. Yeah. I only read Way of Kings, liked it, but takes him forever to say anything. Want to continue it though. Yeah, like I said, I listened to it on audio, and that was way easier. It felt like I was able to understand the characters better, especially Kaladin. And obviously he's like the favorite of the story, and oh my gosh, that poor man. So now it's fun too, because it's kind of like a FOMO thing with Brandon Sanderson. A lot of his writing, it's FOMO, because you're online, and I'm constantly seeing like funny memes and stuff for Way of Kings, and now it's like I get half of them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so funny. I'm so glad that I finally can laugh at this meme properly, because it makes so much more sense now. So yeah, I'm loving it. You be chatty anytime you want.
No, I prep myself pretty.
I wouldn't be chatty during that either.
Nope. We'll be preoccupied.
On that note, maybe we should get on to another reading sprint.
Sure.
Are you going to continue on your 1800 shag bag.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
I sure am. I was trying to think if there's a year for this. It's 18 something. I mean, no, maybe not. Just olden times.
Olden days. In
Yeah.
the olden days. Do you remember
Yeah.
when you were kids or like even like preteen? It'd be like the olden days. Remember when the olden days?
Yeah.
Who says that? No one says that anymore. No
No
one
one
ever
does.
says in the olden days.
No, I
I
hear
never
good
say
old days, but not
the
in the
good
olden.
old days, but not the
Yeah.
olden days.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So yeah,
in the
you're gonna finish
olden
your book.
days. In the olden days when we used to cut our own corn down.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're out back in the woods by the bears.
You gotta plant all those potatoes before they go to
The
seed too much.
potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Best protein in the bunch.
You betcha.
You betcha. Did you ever watch Bobby's World?
No, I didn't. But the
The
kids
Howie
babysat
Mandel
watched
show,
it.
the
Mm-hmm.
animated,
Mm-hmm.
and the mom was like, "Oh dear, Bobby, you come back inside and you got to take a nap now."
I just remember
Wash
Mrs.
your face.
Poole. I remember
What's
Mrs.
that?
Poole. I remember Mrs. Poole. What was that show?
Oh, Mrs.
Just the 10 of us? Was that no, Hogan's Heroes?
Oh,
One
there
of
were
those.
so
Anyways,
many. Yeah.
Mrs. Poole. That's all I remember.
Oh,
Oh, what do you mean?
yeah.
Oh, cripes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I always laugh because my cousin, who's from Wisconsin, thank you very much, but she went to she worked. So when she graduated high school, she did like college summer program at Mount Rushmore. So she met a lot of people from different countries, different parts of the country here. And I remember we always used to do pen pal stuff, but one time she was visiting us and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you have such a Wisconsin accent." I was like, "Girl, you are from Wisconsin. You
Right.
also have a Wisconsin accent. Don't even start." And then too, my
Mm-hmm.
brother, so he's in the Navy. So he has been in the Navy since he was 17. He, as soon as you can sign up, he was in the Navy, and he was living in Virginia for a while, and he came back and he had like some weird East Coast accent, and we're all like, "Dude, you were there for like 6 months." He's like, "Oh, you guys all have an accent." I'm like, "You have an accent, and it's the wrong one." But I mean, a lot of times I'm like, "Oh, I don't have that Yooper. I don't have that Yooper, the Wisconsin Yooper accent." And then all of a sudden I'll be like, "Do you want this or no?" Like, who says
Yep.
or no? It's
Mm-hmm.
not. It's like, do you want this or not? But no, we
Yep.
say or no, or no.
I'm guilty of saying dat a lot.
Oh,
Did you say that?
I like,
No.
don't you know, don't you?
Don't
I
you?
don't say don't you know, but like you get that like twang in there, like don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Like don't you?
I
Like,
know.
don't you wish your girlfriend was?
I
Anyways,
like that song. My friend
let's.
Jessica is from here and moved to Florida. She's been there for over 10 years now. And the last time she came home, I saw her. Um, she said, "I can't believe how strong the accent is here." She said, "All my friends have such a bad accent." I was like, because Florida doesn't really have an accent. It's pretty flat. It is pretty neutral.
And I thought
It's
that Wisconsin was like a lack of an accent, but clearly not.
clearly not. And I said, "Please don't tell me I'm the worst one." And she was like, "Well," I'm like, "Oh, come on."
Come on.
Please don't tell me this. Like she has so many friends who live like in Green Bay and like really up north Wisconsin. I'm like, my accent's worse than theirs. Are you serious?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I was like, Jess, this really hurts me. She's like, sorry. Oh well.
Whatever. Anywho, I like our accent. We sound polite.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Don't you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, let's go ahead and read. We will come back. Oh man, we talked for a while. I think it's what, 20, 30, it's 40 again. We talked a good long time. We're on the 40 again.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
All right. Good luck finishing.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie.
Did you finish?
I did finish.
Nice.
And it was a pretty good ending. And a pretty good, like, I wouldn't call it cliffhanger. It's just like really good information to be like, I want to read the next one. Like, I can wait. I was kind of irritated though, because like I went to go and put the next one on hold, and I realized like I have to renew my library card, so I can't put it on hold until I do that. Which it's pretty simple. You either have to call or email them or stop in. I mean, so I just emailed. But here's the thing. Like, I don't know when this started, but like I don't recall having to I have to renew my library card every single year. Like every single year I have to renew the library card.
Yeah.
Here's what I have to say about that. I get like if you don't use it, but when I am physically going into the library at least twice a month and I'm using my library card to do so, couldn't you create a system that automatically keeps it like active? Why do I have to, like, and I know, again, it wasn't that big of a deal. I just emailed them. But like, why? I have never, like, I feel like this only just started. Like, I think it's been 3 times I've had to renew it, but I've had my library card for ages. And I feel like this only just started, like, maybe 3 years ago, having to renew it every year. I don't understand.
Oh, well, I've always had mine every year.
Like, if you're actively using something like this, where it's not like a debit card where the number changes. It's the same thing.
They do it, at least for here. I know they do it so they make sure that you're living in the county and you're not taking advantage of other counties' resources. That's why they do it every other year for us here.
I guess.
So that's why.
Well, thank you for answering that, because that makes sense. It's just annoying because I'm just like, because I only ever realize it when I go to like put something on hold on Libby, and then it's like, oh, sorry, but your library has this message, and it says library card expiring, and I'm like, dang it, dang it.
Yeah.
So yes, I did finish,
and
it was good. It looks like Andy got to chapter 16.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad you're liking it. And good banter is nice.
Really enjoying it. Good banter. That's awesome. How about for you?
It's good with the plot.
The plot thing.
It's messy. I'm on 236. So she's pregnant, and like the 2 brothers know what's what, but now like the town is finding out, and there's problems. Like, yeah, but he did get his bow.
I mean, what did they expect?
I don't know. From Mary, the wife, and Aaron, the brother, they didn't think they would actually do anything. I mean, they were like, this is ridiculous. And they're both horribly offended that Jonathan suggested this in the first place. But then I started thinking about it more and like, well, I do like you. And then something switched when he left. So they were busy. And then now she's pregnant. And Jonathan's fine with it. He knows the score and he's okay with it. But he's so enamored with this new bull of his that he doesn't really care. He hasn't tried to even kiss her since he's been home. He's been home for like 3 months now. And he just doesn't. He's all about this bull. And Aaron is concerned about her and how she's doing and how his brother is not even like thinking twice about it. Because it's August, so they just threshed a bunch of grain. It's like the height of getting everything out of the garden and everything. And she's pickling constantly and it's hot and she's having a hard time, obviously. And yeah, so, but now the whole town knows. So, I don't know.
This is why you don't tell town folks nothing about your life. Like, because if they didn't know anything about his issues, then none of this would be, a deal. Right. That's what I was thinking. That's what my thought was.
Yeah, he's even said, I don't really feel the need to do anything, and it's never been a big deal for him. So, I don't know.
no.
But yeah, the town nosy lady from at church noticed she was getting thicker on her middle, and so she's like, "Yeah, I guess I am." And then it was like
Miracle.
mm-hmm. The whole congregation knew within like 30 seconds. So
Of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. 140 to go.
Yeah. Well, I will say I probably won't be able to do another sprint. We got to get up early because we're going to be driving down to Milwaukee to go to the zoo with my parents and my niece and nephew tomorrow. So, yeah, I should probably go to bed because it's almost 11 here. So, yeah, this was super fun. Yeah, sleeping with brother-in-law, but going to church.
Yep. Every Sunday.
Yep. Yeah, isn't that how it goes?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But like I was saying, this was super fun. I'm glad you were very chatty, Andy. We love it.
Thanks for joining us.
To chat. It's always fun when it gets kind of chatty. I don't know. I like reading too, but like this is fun when everyone's chatting too.
Yeah.
So you bet.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for those of you who might have just joined us or joined us halfway through, we are reading the Kindred Spirits Supper Club for July, even though I don't think either of us read this at all tonight, but Andy did, and she says it's really good. But if you are interested in joining us for the live stream, our live stream is the last Tuesday of July, which I believe is the 29th.
I have no.
Yes, it's the 29th. So last Tuesday of the month is the 29th. So it'll be at 8 p.m. So feel free to join us for the live stream for this book. If you can't find it in a physical form, it sounds like it's on the Libby app, if you have that through your library. And that is a Wisconsin author, if you are interested. But other than that, I think we're going to call it a night. And we will catch you at the live stream. If you're interested in DoubleBookedCo's Etsy shop, we are celebrating our 4-year anniversary. So we're going to be having some deals and new products. Our anniversary bookmark will be available on Saturday, so be sure to check that out. And then we'll have 50% off some of our products starting on July 13th. So be sure to check that out, and there'll be some new products there as well. But until we see you next time, I hope you all do well and take care and all the good things. So have a good night, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.